with something like bodybuilding, it's it's a really subjective sport that you're really laying yourself open to complete criticism from a panel of complete strangers, and then being able to take that criticism from what they've told you about, oh, this is lacking in your physique, or this is why you didn't place first, and being able to take that criticism and actually figure, okay, I need to put these plans in place to improve myself, to come back and be better. So it's almost like to me, I view bodybuilding as something that you're entering into to pursue the betterment of yourself, as opposed to entering it as a sport to win. Because if you just enter bodybuilding with the goal of winning trophies, you're going to be sorely disappointed when judges start tearing your physique apart. No matter how good you are, it's down to their opinion versus yours. And I became fascinated. It was almost like what I said to you, and that you get hooked. You do your first one or two shows, and it's just like, oh, I want to get back on stage again. The sort of the excitement, the thrill of competing on stage. There's no, you can't describe the feeling to people of how it feels being up there.
Well, I definitely relate to that. And I mean, I learned a lot about myself when I went through it, and I only competed a couple of times, and I'm still not saying never again. But yes, I didn't realize what was involved. And I think the one thing I really discovered is it takes so much willpower and determination. I mean, forget even getting in front of a whole auditorium and the judges, because that's one thing. And that's something I've probably been less bothered with. But for me, it was more of the battle with myself. What did you learn about yourself going through the different
Ooh.
processes?
I think one of the things that really instilled into me was like mental resiliency. I'm definitely a stubborn person. I'm definitely someone who, if someone tries to prove me wrong, I'm going to prove myself right towards them. And so it was almost like the competition season last year was very, very different to other years, in that I'd taken a 5-year break from competing. I got married. We had our 2 young boys. And it was sort of like one of my goals was always to win Mr. Ireland, to win the bodybuilding class in Mr. Ireland. And I was sort of just came to a head fall of, with my wife, that it's either now or never. But one of the things that was completely different to the other years competing was I'd sort of really instilled in myself the mental belief that I'd already won. So every single day I was telling myself, you've already won, you're just turning up, you're doing the work. And rather than thinking that I'm going to win, or doing everything to think that you're going to win, I actually instilled like that sort of positive mental image of, you are a champion and you have won, and that self-affirmation. Before that, I didn't really appreciate how powerful that mental thought process is to shaping your environment and your actions to match it. So definitely it's taught me discipline's probably the biggest thing, like you say. And even the discipline to the nutrition, to me, because of bodybuilding and other sports, nutrition has always been just a sort of like a body fuel to me. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like I do like some foods that we all like from time to time, but for me, I sort of view nutrition as, is this sort of serving my health today, or is it going to create this health or disease later on in life? And that's sort of what guides my nutrition practices day to day. So from a diet perspective, the not eating a lot of foods technically didn't really bother me, in that you have, oh, I wish I had this sort of like chocolate or whatever else. It never really played into my mind. The biggest part, I guess, was the discipline to actually be able to turn up every day and do your cardio, do your like 10 or 12,000 steps a day, manage, work expectations, manage family life. It was sort of like they were the biggest lessons that were taken away from bodybuilding, not only giving you sort of the health of a really, lean physique, but also the mental discipline lessons that come from being a competitor.